shall do it.
Echoes from a shadow realm, whispers of things yet to come. Thought's strange sister dwells in night, is swept away by dawning light. Of what do I speak? That is not of what I speak.
Lark could carry it, while a strong man might not. Of what do I speak? That is not of what I speak. It shall be done.
An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. The debt of blood must be paid in full. Of what do I speak? Yes, my husband Hysarion would have chosen a quick death for Andraste. I made him swear that she would die publicly with her war leaders, that all would know the Imperium's strength. I am justice. I am vengeance. Blood can only be repaid in blood.
I'd neither a guest nor a trespasser be. In this place I belong, that belongs also to me. Of what do I speak? That is not of what I speak.
Careful! I think they've seen us!
A poison of the soul, passion's cruel counterpart. From love she grows, till love lies slain. Of what do I speak? Yes, jealousy drove me to betrayal. I was the greatest general of the Alamori, but beside her I was nothing. Hundreds fell before her on bended knee. They loved her, as did the Maker. I loved her too. But what man can compare with a god?
The bones of the world stretched towards the sky's embrace, veiled in white, like a bride greeting her groom. Of what do I speak? Yes. I carried Andraste's ashes out of Tevinter into the mountains to the east, where she could gaze ever into her Maker's sky. No more fitting a tomb than this could we find.
No man has seen it, but all men know it. Lighter than air, sharper than any sword. Comes from nothing, but will fell the strongest armies. Of what do I speak? Yes, hunger was the weapon used against the wicked men of the Tevinter Imperium. The Maker kindled the sun's flame, scorching the land. Their crops failed, and their armies could not march. Then he opened the heavens and bade the waters flow, and washed away their filth. I am Cather, disciple of Andraste and commander of her armies. I saw these things done, and knew the Makers smiled on us.
She wields the broken sword, and separates true kings from tyrants. Of what do I speak? That is not of what I speak.
These things have unusual powers. Beware.
My dearest child. You know that I am gone, and all your prayers and wishes will not bring me back. Pup, I know you miss me, but my death and my life no longer have a hold on you. This is how it should be. Set your eyes on the horizon. Do not look back, and do not falter. You have such a long road ahead of you, and you must be prepared. And so I leave this in your hands. I know you will do great things with it.
Well, looks like there's only one way forward.
This looks fun.
I bet we'll have to walk to that part of the bridge. Looks like it's there, but I don't think it is. Try something else.
There's the
Hello.
trick. Each place must be made solid in order for one of us to cross. I am ready. Warden, tire of these games. Let us get one person across and it's done.
Your wish?
Your wish?
I am ready.
There is much to do.
That was exciting. Can we do it again?
I shall do it. Legend.
You have been through the trials of the Gauntlet. You have walked the path of Andraste, and like her, you have been cleansed. You have proven yourself worthy, pilgrim. Approach the sacred ashes.
I never dreamed I would ever lay my eyes on the urn of sacred ashes. I have no words to express.
I stand in awe. Really?
I could not have asked for a greater honor than to be here. I will never forget this feeling.
A fine gift. You have my thanks.
Allow me. I could do that for you. Allow me. I could do that for you.
It is begun. As you say.
Welcome back. You were gone for quite some time. Well, did you find it? What was it like, coming to the urn, I mean? Tests? Interesting. Very interesting. Perhaps my research will not seem so much like blasphemy to the Chantry now. We must organize an expedition. There is so much history here, it must be studied. And pilgrims should be allowed to come to the urn. But the urn belongs to all the faithful. How can you deny this to them? No, we must share it.
I agree. We cannot withhold this from others. It is not our place.
You have noble intentions, Brother Genitivi. But can you say the same of your brethren in the Chantry?
Yes, share it. Spread the word and more will come under the Chantry's power. Is this not what you want?
I will spread this good news or die trying. I must return home. I have much to do. If you ever find yourself in Denerim, please visit me. I am not a rich man, but I have a small collection of interesting artifacts, and I do owe you a reward for coming to my rescue. I hope to see you soon, my friend.
Your dog is filthy. I can smell him 50 yards off. That may be so, but all the same, I would like your permission to bathe him. Excellent. I will get my soaps, and the dog shall have his bath after supper.
Here I am. That smell. This is Antivan leather, isn't it? I would know that anywhere. I don't know how you knew I was missing my homeland, but this does the trick nicely. Thank you. Now, if only you could find me a prostitute or two, a bowl of fish chowder, and a corrupt politician, I'd really feel like I was home. And they fit as well. Marvelous.
The stars are out. It comforts me to know that the stars will remain untouched by the blight. That whatever happens down here, they will shine eternally, their light undimmed. There is a story about that cluster of stars over there. Do you know it? Elindra and her soldier? A long time ago, there lived a fair maiden called Elindra. She had many suitors, but spurned them all, for she did not love them. One day, Elindra was sitting by her window in her father's castle, singing and dreaming, when her lovely voice caught the attention of a young soldier. Entranced by her song, the soldier drew near to Elindra's window. As their eyes met, he fell in love with her, and she with him. When Elindra told her father about the man she had chosen, he was furious. For Elindra was high-born, but her love nothing more than a common soldier. To keep them apart, he had Elindra imprisoned in the highest tower of his castle, and sent her soldier to the wars. Alas, not a month had passed before news of the soldier's death reached Elindra. Alone in her tower, Elindra wept for her love, and beseeched the gods to deliver her from this cruel world. So earnest was her plea, that the gods themselves were moved. They gathered Elindra into their arms and lifted her high into the heavens, where she became a star. The gods also raised up the soul of Elindra's soldier love, and there he dwells, across the horizon from her. The band of stars between them is a river of Elindra's tears, cried for her lost love. They say that when Elindra has cried enough, she will be able to cross the river to be reunited with her soldier. This story is one of my favorites, a tale of a love so great and so enduring that it defies death and moves the gods to action. Sometimes I ask myself, does such a love exist? Can it exist? I never expected you to say that. It is a pleasant surprise. I have to say there is a certain severity to you. Finding a person behind that all is nice. Maybe you should let your softer side show more often. Sometimes following your heart, not your head, leads you to remarkable places. You've seen and touched Andraste's ashes. They are the holiest thing on this earth, the remains of the Maker's chosen. I know, it seems almost irreverent to use her as a curative, and it is also a tiny bit morbid. I do not know if I am worthy to look upon her. Yes, of course, but it still is something to be in awe of. Looking for little old me? Yes? What's on your mind? I miss Val Royeaux. Unlike other cities where the people are the lifeblood and the character, Val Royeaux was her own person, and her people little more than decorations. There was always music in Val Royeaux, streaming from the many windows, quiet refrains and triumphant choruses, and always, floating above that all, the chant, coming from the Grand Cathedral. It was magnificent. Oh, it would take me a day or two to talk about the many splendors of Orlais, her golden fields, her lush meadows. Of course there are good things and bad things about Orlais, like anywhere else. Sometimes I miss it dearly, and sometimes I'm glad I'm rid of it. And you will laugh at this, but I miss the fine things I had in Orlais. Dresses, fine dresses and furs, and shoes, of course. One can't mingle with nobility with bad shoes, you see. Orlais is very fashionable, almost ridiculously so. But the shoes! Living with those ridiculous trends was worth it for the shoes. When I left Orlais, the fashion was shoes with delicate tapered heels and embellishments in the front. A ribbon, perhaps, or embroidery. In soft colors, of course. It was spring. I had my eye on a pair my shoemaker was working on. It was covered in pale blue silk, with amber beads on the toe. The shoes made in Orlais were exquisite. Not at all like these clunky fur-lined leather boots you have in Ferelden. Ugh, just look at them. They're sturdy shoes, but sometimes a girl just wants to have pretty feet. Oh, I could talk about shoes all day, but we have things to do, don't we? Looking for little old me? Yes? What's on your mind? Looking for little old me?
You called. I caged myself. A weak mind is a deadly foe, as you are no doubt aware. I came to your lands with 7 of the Beresad, my brothers, to seek answers about the Blight. We made our way across the Ferelden countryside without incident, seeing nothing of the threat we were sent to observe. Until the night we camped by Lake Calenhad. They came from everywhere. The earth beneath our feet, the air above us. Our own shadows harbored the darkspawn. I saw the last of the creatures cut down, too late. I fell. I am told no others survived. I don't know how long I lay on the battlefield among the dead, nor do I know how the farmers found me. I only know that when I woke I was no longer among my brothers, and my sword was gone from my hand. Perhaps. I searched for it, and when that failed I asked my rescuers what had become of it. They said they found me with nothing. I did. I knew they didn't have the blade. They had no reason to lie to me. I panicked. Unthinking, I struck them down. That sword was made for my hand alone. I have carried it from the day I was set into the Beresad. I was to die wielding it for my people. Even if I could cross Ferelden and Tevinter unarmed and alone to bring my report to the Arishok, I would be slain on sight by the Antam. They would know me as soulless, a deserter. No soldier would cast aside his blade while he drew breath.
If I knew where to look, it would be in my hand now. Near Lake Callanhead. Perhaps those words are empty, but thank you all the same.
At your service.
Are you sure I can't interest you in this hat? A pair of earrings, perhaps? A cheese knife? I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
Is that for me? Really? Wow! Wow!
I shall treasure it. Thank...
It shall be done. Yes.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Blast and damnation!
Yes.
I saw what you were doing back there.
Oh?
Don't play innocent with me.
What are you talking about?
Outside. You are picking flowers.
No, I wasn't.
You were.
They were medicinal.
You're a big softy.
We will never speak of this again.
Softy.
Back off! I was here first! Why, you looking to buy one? Oh, is he? Well, that's... see, I'd like to sell you one, but I don't, have any myself. I got part of a glove the wolves didn't chew too badly, though. I think it was a glove, anyway. I know, don't say it, I got cheated. I knew the guy who was here before me. He sold me this spot. Said he found giants and all kind of crazy valuables. He didn't mention that he'd taken everything but the bones and the dirt already. His name's Ferrin. Squirrely little bastard, if you ask me. Which you didn't, but I said it anyway. He was going to Orzammar, he said. I imagine he's gotten there by now. If you find him, tell him I sent you. It'll scare the piss out of him. Ha!
Vashaden.
Indeed.
It is begun.
You have coins, stranger? With Orzammar closed off, old Tegrin can get you a discount. Fine weapon and arms, dwarven made.
Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much. Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much.
You return. Might you have news? You have? Wonderful. Let us go at once to Eamon's side and see if the urn's healing powers live up to their reputation.
Where am I?
Be calm, brother. You have been deathly ill for a very long time. Do you remember nothing?
Tegan? What are you doing here? Where is Isolde?
Much has happened since you fell ill, brother. Some of it will not be easy for you to hear.
Then tell me. I wish to hear all of it. This is most troubling. There is much to be done, that is true. But I should first be thankful to those who have done so much. Grey Warden, I know you did what you had to. I grieve for Isolde, but I believe that had you not acted as you did, it might have been far worse. I am in your debt. Will you permit me to offer you a reward for your service? I understand, but regardless of your motivations, I feel you are worthy of a reward. I would like to honor your efforts, nothing more. Then allow me to declare you and those traveling with you champions of Redcliffe. You will always be a welcome guest within these halls. And for you, Warden, a shield of the same make as those that have been given to our finest knights.
We should speak of Loghain, brother. There is no telling what he will do once he learns of your recovery.
Loghain instigates a civil war even though the Darkspawn are on our very doorstep. Long I have known him. He is a sensible man, one who never desired power.
I was there when he announced he was taking control of the throne, Eamon. He is mad with ambition, I tell you.
Mad indeed. Mad enough to kill Cailan, to attempt to kill myself and destroy my lands. Whatever happened to him, Loghain must be stopped. What's more, we can scarce afford to fight this war to its bitter end. We have no time to wage a campaign against him. Someone must surrender if Ferelden is to have any chance at fighting the Darkspawn. I will spread word of Loghain's treachery, both here and against the king. But it will be but a claim made without proof. Those claims will give Loghain's allies pause, but we must combine it with a challenge Loghain cannot ignore. We need someone with a stronger claim to the throne than Loghain's daughter, the Queen.
Are you referring to Alistair, brother? Are you certain?
I would not propose such a thing if we had an alternative, but the unthinkable has occurred.
You don't know?
I meant to tell you when we were approaching Redcliffe, but
Alistair is King Merrick's illegitimate son. He is Cailan's half-brother and has a claim to Ferelden's throne. I imagine Duncan kept Alistair out of the battle for this very reason.
I never thought it would come to this. When Cailan got married, everyone thought it was best to just have me step aside. It was a relief, actually. I don't want to be king. I never did. Even when Cailan died, I guess I hoped that something else would present itself.
You have a responsibility, Alistair. Without you, Loghain wins. I would have to support him for the sake of Ferelden. Is that what you want?
No, my lord.
I see only one way to proceed. I will call for a landsmeet, a gathering of all of Ferelden's nobility in the city of Denerim. There, Ferelden can decide who shall rule, one way or another. Then the business of fighting our true foe can begin. What say you to that, my friend? I do not wish to proceed without your blessing. That depends. If we cannot get a consensus in the landsmeet for Alistair, we cannot afford to oppose Loghain either. Does that mean Loghain could win? A man who killed his own king, who has gone mad with power? Perhaps. We must see that he does not. Why do you think he had me poisoned? He wanted me gone without having to confront me directly. If I call for a landsmeet, refusing the compromise and attacking Redcliffe will only support our accusations. I'm sure he'd rather I died from the poison. Had the demon not interfered, that's exactly what would have happened. I'm not sure that would help our cause. We would become the criminals, and our accusations would become excuses. Furthermore, I'm not even certain where Loghain might be. Very well. I will send out the word. But before we proceed, I believe there is the matter of the mage, my son's tutor. He still lives, I understand.
He does. He is in the dungeon, brother.
Have him brought here, Tegan. I wish to see him. Jowan, what you have done is not in question. You tried to assassinate me and set into motion a series of events that nearly destroyed everything I cherish. What have you to say in your own defense?
Nothing, my lord. Other than to say I am sorry. I expect no mercy for what I've done.
I see. Grey Warden, have you anything to say on Jowan's behalf? Oh? That is unexpected. And what would you have me do? As the injured party, my ability to see the merciful path is strained. True enough, and wisely said. Jowan, I hereby turn you over to the Tower of the Circle of Magi. May the Maker have mercy on your soul.
Thank you, my lord.
Now, back to the matter of the Landsmeet. It will take some time to recall my forces and organize our allies. I would prefer to wait until that is done before calling the Landsmeet. In the meantime, I suggest you pursue the remainder of the Grey Warden treaties. We will need all the allies we can get if we are to defeat the Darkspawn Horde.
Ask away.
Though stung with 100 arrows, Though suffering from ailments both great and small, his heart was strong, and he moved on.
Very well.
Maker's blessings upon you, Warden.
Good to see you again. Good to see you again. Good to see you again.
Yes? All right, let me take a look. I feared this day would come.
Your efforts are greatly appreciated.
As you like.
Very well.
Trap right ahead.
More enemies ahead! is begun.
Are we descending into the underground? The thought of so much rock.
Yes? Oh? What was this about? Oh, I see. Tauren must have sent you. I refuse to answer to a pawn of Tauren. Come, men, to arms!
Step right up, friend, and have a look at the finest selection of almost new armor and weaponry east of Orlais. Oh, of course. And remember, everything's covered by Farron's 24-hour lifetime guarantee. Welcome back. Care to see the finest selection of previously owned armor and weaponry in Thedas? Oh, you've heard of me. What have you heard? And just so you know, some of my competitors have been trying to besmirch my sterling reputation. Canary? I'm afraid I don't know the word. Oh, them. Well, I have a few shields here. I had one sword, but I sold it already. A collector. I can't go telling you all about my paying customers. One, it's not ethical. And two, it's bad for business. A lot of my customers are sensitive types. They don't want their personal business related to every stranger who happens along. If I'd known he was still breathing, I would have used a knife. I mean, I'd have been more careful. Redcliffe. The guy who bought it lives in Redcliffe. He's a collector. A dwarf named Dwin, I think. I don't want any trouble. If you see that giant, tell him I don't have it, would you? I don't, I swear. 3? I call it highway robbery, but I'd be smearing the good name of highwaymen everywhere. Fine. Here's your blood money. Take it and go.
Good-looking Mabari you have there. The Mabari is the king of dogs. Respect him and he will be your closest companion, and your most loyal defender. I was chosen by a Mabari myself years ago. I was one of the Ash Warriors, under the command of the old King Merrick. We laid down our lives for the king and for freedom, and my beloved Valder paid the ultimate price. Nothing was the same after that. They say a Mabari bonds with his human, but they often leave out that the bond goes both ways. No other Mabari could have taken his place. What is an Ash Warrior without his hound? There was nothing for me there anymore, and so I left. Look at me. I'm an old man. There is no place for me on the battlefield. I know about the Blight. And were I but 10 years younger, I would fight. But my time has passed. Wait a moment. Perhaps there is something I can do to help. You must know about Kadas, the paint we use to create patterns on the fur of the Mabari. I know some old patterns from a generation ago. I can teach them to you in exchange for some coin.
What can I do for you? This ought to be interesting. Such diction. This man is a true scholar and rhetorician. I am honored to be fired by one such as he. Good day.
Darkspawn took Lothering, did they?
Oh, you wish to talk to me? Truly, it's a courtesy for one so well-armed to notice a lowly merchant. Someone has to. Trade with other races can dry up. We surfacers are Orzamar's lifeline. Even if we're denied a caste, the Assembly says we've turned our back on the stone, but they still use the goods we bring. Hypocrites.
That's not right. Someone should do something.
Maybe it'll change by the time my children are grown. Twice a year, I'm confined to a trade stall in the Commons, but I see enough. It's very closed in. My grandfather says I've lost my stone sense. I was born topside. I don't remember having it. Best of luck to you.
King Loghain will not...
Vieta! This land is held in trust for the sovereign Dwarven kings. I cannot allow entry at this time.
King Loghain demands the allegiance of the Desher, or lords, or whatever you call them in your assembly. I am his appointed messenger.
I don't care if you're the king's wiper. Orzammar will have none but its own until our throne is settled.
Who doesn't? If I don't get in, no one should.
Orzammar has no king. Endrin Idukan returned to the stone not 3 weeks ago, sick over the loss of his sons. The Assembly has gone through a dozen votes without agreeing on a successor. If it is not settled soon, we risk a civil war.
The The Wardens killed King Cailan and nearly doomed Ferelden. They're sworn enemies of King Loghain.
Well, that is the Royal Seal. That means only the Assembly is authorized to address it. Grey Warden, you may pass.
You're letting in a traitor? And a foreigner? In the name of King Loghain, I demand that you execute this stain on the honor of Ferelden. I will at that. I'm a messenger of King Loghain.
Kill each other as you will, but take your sodding fight off my doorstep.
It is begun.
You've done me a service. That fool Imrek was barking for a week. Are all humans so touched? You are free to enter Orzammar, Grey Warden. Though I don't know what help you will find. A trust follow, Warden.
How magnificent.
Your arrival is a mixed
These must be the statues of the Dwarven Paragons.
If there is anything complimentary to be said about these people, it is that they possess a remarkable facility for carving stone.
Do you think they sell miniatures of these in the city? I would love to have some on my mantle.
It is the Assembly who makes a king, and a king who nominates his successor. None of it is carried in the blood.
Or, as now, when someone tries using the Assembly to pull a coup. Who's to say what my father said in his final hours, when the usurper Harrowmont was the only one by his side?
I'll have you thrown in prison.
You've bitten off more than you can chew!
Handlers, separate these dashers in the Diamond Quarter. I will not have Balaam incite a riot.
Not speak that way about the man who should be king! Especially in front of outsiders. If I find that sodding fool, I'll have him in the Legion.
Vieta, Surfacer. I'm bid to let you walk the commons, but keep your place. Warden or not, I want order. See, that's why I don't want you surfacers seeing our worst. You'll think that's all we are. The market is thin, but busy, and the tavern never closes. Bad blood is usually kept to the proving. Should toss Balin and Harrowmont in there. Sort this all out in a hurry. They've caged themselves for fear of each other. As you've seen, keeping order down among us working people is dodgy. No place for a proper lord. Balin speaks through his second, Vartag Gavorn, in the Assembly. Lord Harrowmont speaks through Dulin Ferender from his estate. Surfacers appoint no paragons? Truly, you're lost in all that sky. They are the best of us, declared living ancestors. If you must be our warden, at least know us. Go to the Shaper of Memories in the Shaperate, the true bright spot in the Diamond Quarter. Surface problems. Well, we have no king to hear you. You can join the shouting at the Assembly in the Diamond Quarter if you want. Bunch of Desher lords bickering over sand. Balin, Harrowmont. Is one so different? No paragons here. Yes, you should.
Did you see that? I cannot believe what this city has come to. This would never have happened when Endrin was alive. Aye. What a terrible burden for a father to have only Balin left of 3 fine sons. In the end, Endrin himself recognized that Balin cared for nothing but power. It was Endrin who ordered his son away from his deathbed and embraced Lord Harrowmont as his heir. Lord Harrowmont should be our king. He was King Endrin's closest advisor, the only one he could trust. Endrin himself, ancestors welcome him, asked the Assembly to endorse Harrowmont. Everybody knows he killed his brother Trian and let his father's favorite son take the blame. And many question whether Endrin died abed, as we were told, or whether Balin helped him along. He is a good man and a skilled general. King Endrin trusted him with his life, and I will do no less. I am Narav Helmi, 3rd daughter of the 2nd matron of House Helmi. And you, stranger, what brings you to Orzammar at such a time? A Grey Warden? That explains why they allowed you past the gates. What kind of aid do you mean? A blight? Now? But our warriors are killing each other in the streets. I'm sorry, stranger. I fear there will be no aid for you in Orzammar. If you seek Lord Harrowmont's support, I suggest you talk with his trusted advisor, Dulin Ferender. He might be able to get you an audience.
I should have stuck to common nugs. I've gone and lost them too. I'll never find them the way they skitter.
Common nugs? I don't like those. They look dirty.
No way I'm going back to that supplier in Dust Town. Guess I'm shutting it down. Gotta boil them before roasting, but otherwise no, safe as sand. Some people swear they make good pets. May as well leash a turnip, I say. Good on you, stranger. Only need one to turn this around.
Excuse me, do you have a moment? You look like you're not from around here. Oh, wonderful! I've been trying forever to find someone who really knows the surface world. I don't suppose you've heard of something called the Circle? Oh, my lady, it's an honor. I've never met an actual mage. Is it true you can manipulate nature's forces with your mind? Like you were born with lyrium in your veins?
Don't let the glamour fool you, child. Wielding magic is a dangerous occupation, and a great responsibility.
I've been trying to reach someone there for years. I've sent missives with every caravan, but I never get a reply. I want to know if they would accept me for study. I want to go to the Circle to study.
I assure you that desire will depart the moment you arrive.
I don't want to do magic. No dwarf can cast spells, but I don't see why I shouldn't study it. It would be a valuable exchange. Orzammar would learn of one of the great natural forces of the surface. And the Circle gains direct access to our knowledge of lyrium smithing. That would be wonderful. My name is Dagna, daughter of Janar of the Smithcasts. Tell them I've already begun reading the Tevinter Imperium's Verticum Kadab, and it's just fascinating. Did you know the Imperial Magister Lords once had genealogies of every human family known to produce a mage child?
She's so enthusiastic and adorable. I'm glad we're helping her.
Oh, I'll go pack my bags right now. I'll be waiting by my father's shop.
Greetings, and welcome to Garen Garrison's luxury goods shop. Wow, there are a lot of you. And I've never seen one of those before. The things they come up with. What was I saying? Right. Yeah, I have some lovely things here. Lyrium. Enhanced, of course.
Most kind. A fine gift. You have my thanks. What have you there? A mirror? It is just the same as the mirror which Flemeth smashed on the ground so long ago. It is incredible that you found one so like it. I am uncertain what to say. You must wish something in return, certainly. You say that as if I should be accustomed to such a thing. I have never received a gift, not one which did not come at a price. I suppose I should say thank you for the gift. 'Tis most thoughtful, truly.
It is
big.
big.
For a few people, they certainly...
Welcome to Jannar Family Armorers. I must say, you look like our type of people. Looking for a new set of mail? At Jannar's, we have everything from leather to platinum. Of course, keep in mind we also take items on trade. Trust Vala, stranger. Here for armor or conversation. Aye, for 100 generations. My father made his name by inventing a fall and tacit, which were integrated into the cuirass. But, I'm guessing by your face, you're not a smith yourself. I stay out of politics. It's not good for a smith to get the attention of those who grant vendors licenses. Lord Harrowmont's a fair man. My father did business with him, and he always paid on time. But the Idukans have served us well. If it is the ancestors' wisdom to keep them on the throne, I cannot object. Has she been bothering you? Gets a whiff of surface stink and she's like a cave tick. Won't let go. Oh, good. Well, let me know if she does trouble you any. Do you even know what that means? If Dagna goes to the surface, she forfeits her caste. She'll never be able to marry or work in Orzammar again. Dwarves don't do magic. Dagna knows that. It's just a childhood fantasy that dies hard. Please, if you see her, send her back and let me talk some sense into her.
I'm sorry. Did you have an offering for the ancestors? Although, I can't imagine your ancestors reside in the stone. My name is Vilda, widow of Tolucc of the Smith caste. I pray here every day for my son, Ruck. I only wish I knew whether I should be asking for his safe return or for the ancestors to accept his soul. It was 5 years ago. He was only a youngster. He joined a Deep Roads excursion, the only smith to go with the warriors to repair their arms. He was so proud, but he got separated somehow. When they came home, he wasn't with them. The captains don't want to lose anyone searching for stray men. Too many were taken by Darkspawn that way. How? There is no way except to brave the deep roads yourself. A warden? So you could do it. Only wardens face the deep roads without a company backing them. Oh, thank you. The ancestors finally heed my prayers.
Take heart, good widow Vilda. We'll do our best.
Please, find me as soon as you return.
Topsiders? Good. Get some outside gold in here. Calm people down. Make them think we should open the gates for good. The more cracks in the old way, the better. That's what Balin stands for. Not your business, but I see where the gold is. He's the traditional pick, yet he wants a new way, whether some like it or not. Just as many say Harrowmont. Neither are paragons, and the scales being equal, I go with the promise of more trade. I'll take your gold. You're good for that.
Atrust Vala, stranger. You must be the Grey Warden we heard about. Welcome to Tapsters. I'm Cora, your hostess. How may I serve you? With 52 types of ale, 17 types of mead, and a dozen imported wines, we should be able to serve your needs. What do you have? Someone's feeling generous. A round of Valentis Red for everyone. This, my friend, is the Paragon of Ales. The best your money can buy. Enjoy.
stranger. You looking for a stool to share a brew? I recommend the Lycan Ale. They brew it downstairs. Name's Naveen. I fight with Prince Balin's expeditionary field unit. Yourself? Figured as much. Good folks, Wardens. I was in the deep roads when that one came by. What was his name? Dukan, Dunka... something like that. I go where I'm sent, fight when I'm there, and leave politics where it belongs. Darkspawn. Not much use in turning our weapons elsewhere while those vermin still live. Every Grey Warden ends up there. That's where they send you when you're ready to leave this world. Go die in the dark, putting away as many vermin as you can. Getting more crowded these days, though. Lots of people interested all of a sudden. We go back tomorrow, and we're not the only ones. Balin ordered us in at first bell. He's splitting us into 4 teams to search for some of the lost tigers. Looking for signs of Bronca, I guess. Seems to be who everyone's after. Bronca was a paragon, some kind of great smith or whatnot. But she went batty and let her whole house into the deep roads more than 2 years ago. No chance she could have survived. And a lot of good men are gonna die looking for her corpse. Excuse me. This brew is starting to taste awful bitter.
Told him I don't understand why the provings aren't open to everyone. Lord Dennick Helmi, honored Desher of the Orzammar Assembly, and terrible disappointment to my esteemed mother, who doesn't like me spending time in taverns. You understand what I'm saying, right? On the surface, there are no castes, and it works fine. Am I right, Warden? Very good. I guess someone already told you I was good for nothing, drinking my life away at tapsters. Or did they leave off at greatest shame to ever fall upon the Assembly? I've always liked that one. You know, most smiths and tavern keeps would make decent deshers if we gave them a chance and a seat in the Assembly. Orzammar is so mired in tradition, no one bothers asking if the castes are even necessary. Badly. Oh, you're serious? Well, it's simple, I guess. The king and elected deshers of the Assembly are at the top. Then it's the nobles. Then the warriors and all the craftsmen. At the bottom are servants. The casteless and criminals are below even that. Your caste is determined by that of your same-sex parent. And that's where you stay your whole life, whatever your skill. Me and 79 other fine, upstanding examples of how someone who's born into every privilege inevitably wants more. They're not fond of my views on equality. I doubt either candidate has been outside the Diamond Quarter in his life. But Lord Harrowmont seems a bit more forgiving. Prince Balin's brilliant, I'll give him that, and subtle as sin. But I don't think anything in Orzammar matters more to him than winning. As you wish.
They're everywhere! I can't take it! What? Get away! You'll change like the rest! Monsters hidden in all my friends! They follow you. Once you are in the story, they possess your friends and follow. See? I found copies. All from the same pen, and older than the ones in song. Dormant my ass! Take them! I want out! I won't disappear chasing a lie! I won't!
Maker's blessing on you, sister.
I'm Brother Burkle of the Red Cliff Chantry, returned to my ancestors' land to spread the chant of light.
Even in the very bowels of the earth, we hear no end of this chant.
And that is something to rejoice in, good sister. I'm petitioning to open a chantry in Orzammar. The Shaperid controls changes in Orzammar's structure and society. I need the Shaper of Memory's permission to open a prayer meeting. Oh, I'd hoped you'd say that. I can see the Maker's hand on your shoulder, guiding you always.
If this chantry could help just one person as much as it helped me, it's worth any trouble.
Please let me know as soon as you've heard anything.
More enemies ahead!
We'll get plenty of
Another battle light! Here comes trouble!
Who are you? You don't look like any guardsman I ever saw, and that's not much of a uniform. Oh, you looking for a chance to bring in some coin? Could be I have that opportunity, especially for someone with a few connections above ground. No offense, but your kings have some laws that don't make sense in a practical kind of world. Like about who gets to buy and sell lyrium, the sacred gift the stone provides us to show her love. No law should regulate that. The laws are meant to keep mages away from the stuff, so there's always buyers in the Circle Tower. I got one man named Godwin. He's expecting a delivery of a stone's weight. You want an investment opportunity? I could see fit to, say, sell you that lyrium instead, at the reasonable price of 50 sovereigns. You can keep it, or, since you can travel freely from here, sell it to Godwin, who you know is buying. And if you bring back his return order, I could pay you, say, 20 sovereigns as a finder's fee. More so for someone like you, I guess. Most dwarves born down here have a natural immunity. Other races, there are problems if they spend too long with the ore. The real issue is that lyrium's valuable. It's only found down here, and human mages can't work without it. I don't think so. Boys!
It shall be done. It is begun.
What are you looking for? We got nothing to buy for the likes of you. Or maybe you wanted to sell. Well, our business is kind of covert, if you know what I mean. It's illegal in Orzammar for me to engage in protected trade, but they look the other way if I share things with my friends. For money. Why don't you take a look?
Differences between this side of town and the others is striking.
Why do the poor not rise up against their betters? This I never understood.
Your clothes are so fancy. Did you get them topside? My ma'am used to say they don't got no stone to protect them topside. If I go up there, I'm gonna fall into the sky. Yes. When my dad left, he never came back. Who's to say he didn't fall up, eh? Don't fall into the sky when you go back up there.
Well, look at that. It's not often old Nadezhda sees a fine-dressed stranger here in Dust Town. Help a poor cripple. You're as kind as you are beautiful. I owe you when I get back on my feet, if my feet still worked. It takes a stranger to notice how bad things are, huh? No dwarf would lift a sodding finger. Excuse my language. What takes you out of the Diamond Quarter, stranger? You got a vice you're looking for old Nadezhda to fill? It's pretty much as you see it. The raw stone where the casteless live, because we're not welcome elsewhere. You're born to wear a branded face in Orzammar, and you'll live your life in Dust Town. Means you don't exist. It tells everyone who sees you not to work with you, not to serve you, and not to care if you're hurt. The Deep Lords burn it into us the day we're born, so no one accidentally oversteps her place. I'd say it was an accident to try to get some sympathy coin, but you look like you'd rather hear the truth. I was running protection for the Carta when some guardsmen caught me. Duster I was with had coin for a bribe, but I took a stand. Guardsmen broke my sodding kneecaps and had me kneel in dung until the infection set in. It never healed proper. I don't know where you're from, but in Orzammar, casteless have no lineage, so it's no crime to hurt you. You're born to wear a branded face in Orzammar, and you'll live your life in Dust Town. If you have that kind of coin, Salroka, you don't want to drink what they've got here. Take yourself up to Tapster's. Long as your face isn't branded, they've got anything you want. I'll just stay out of your way then.
Have you a coin to spare, milady? It's for my son. He's sick. He hasn't any clean clothes to wear or anything to eat today. Neither have I. Thank you. that a stranger would care so much when my own family barred me from their halls unless I'm willing to. But no, I can't bear to even think of it. My son's father is casteless, as is he. I used to be a minor, but my parents stripped my caste and refused to accept me back. Unless I agree to abandon the child in the deep roads and pretend I never bore him. Yes, I can become casteless with him, which is what I've done. Others have raised children like this, right? Begging for change, sleeping in doorways? You would do that? But why? Then I cannot offer enough gratitude. But I warn you, my father is a stiff-necked man. His name is Ordell, and he's usually at tapsters in the evening. I do not think he will listen to you. But I will wait anxiously to see if you can do what you promise.
Tell me.
Very well.
Allow me. I could do that for you.
I shall do it.
Allow me. I could do that for you.
Very well.
What are you looking at, stranger? I could be. What business is it of yours? What? You think she'd die just to keep that thing? She knows what she has to do to come home. I never wanted her gone. Just the little cur. Can't she see she'd have a better life if she got rid of it? I've been trying. It's not as easy as I thought.
Look, just tell her... We never meant to hurt her. It just seemed best that...
Oh, just tell her to come home. Her mother and I are waiting for her.
Go on, I'm out of the nug game. Got nothing to sell. Saraka, I'm back in the game, such as it is. I don't have much besides gratitude, but find a bunch more of these and I'll toss you whatever I found. You're the best wrangler I've ever seen, but there's more out there.
Hey, what's down there?
Does that
As you
lead out
say.
to the deep roads? I hear they're crawling with darkspawn.
This no doubt leads out to the deep roads, the ancient passages that once...
What's this? A human? Did we make these tunnels tall enough for humans? I'm sorry, but I cannot allow you past the front lines without Adesh's permission. And I've heard nothing of any new patrols scheduled to leave today.
Don't let the comm fool you. The Darkspawn are down there, aren't they, Commander?
Either we finally have the edge, which I doubt, or the beasts are building up numbers for the next attack. What anyone knows? She went out there with her entire house and she's never coming back.
You don't think maybe she's still there, Commander? She is a Paragon, after all.
And now she's an ancestor. No one lasts 2 years in the tunnels. Of course not. Down here, you're bound to run into giant spiders, deep stalkers, and other vermin. A few outposts. Legion of the Dead, mostly. Fools that they are. Some scavenger types, too. It's an independent company of soldiers. They accept no command but their own. Anyone who can bear arms can join, no matter his crimes. Or sanity. They hold a funeral when they join, and swear their only goal is a glorious death. Aye, for your sake, I hope you've no reason to come here again.
You're the best wrangler I've ever seen. But there's more out there.
Very well. It shall be done.